Hey, ladies, boss ladies, you guys are going to be really excited today. I have Wendy Stuart Kaplan. She is beyond amazing. And I just want to laugh right now because she just is so full of life and she just has me going the whole time. She is the last model standing. Is that not like hilarious? Look at her. She cracks me up. She's done so many things. She's an author, world-renowned fit model, actress, TV host, documentary. The list just keeps going. Wendy, I could not wait for you to get on the show. I am so excited that you're here.
Well, me too. I'm so excited to be here with you. I mean, we have that fierce energy, right? And we raise people up, and here we are today. We've got people listening, and our excitement is infectious, isn't it?
Yes.
I so love what you're about, Vicky. I have to tell you, and boss lady, right?
Yes, boss lady.
Because we're boss ladies.
We're boss ladies. We're boss ladies. We definitely do it. And God just works in mysterious ways with me. I'm telling you, I never, ever look, usually we do the one talk before we actually do the podcast. Why did I look at your name and I felt the need to go on Facebook and look you up? Why? And
you were acting on your instincts, we're instinctive people, and something hit you, right? When I meet people, I can tell stuff about them. When I talk to someone on the phone, all right, by the voice, I can tell if it's going to work or not. When I first connected with you on the interview and I saw you, that was before I saw your menagerie, okay? But I knew we were kindred spirits.
Yeah. I was so excited when I just saw your Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for her. She's going to be fun. And she is hilarious. So tell us, The Last Model Standing. Tell us about that.
So my book, She's the Last Model Standing, is, I based the title on like The Last Comic Standing. There's a lot of shows, but She's the Last Model Standing. I decided to write a book about really my life. It's about modeling, but it's also about my life from the time I was born. I grew up a kid in the Bronx with big dreams. My big dreams coming from my mother had been 5th runner-up in the Miss America pageant. I remember her putting her makeup on and lining her lips and filling it in with that red lipstick. And as a little kid in the Bronx, I loved living in the Bronx, but my mother was glamorous. And life there wasn't glamorous. So I remember her wearing her mink stole to the supermarket, okay? My mother was glamorous. So I grew up with these big dreams and then came to New York to model in the late 70s. And the thing I wanted to write about, I'm still doing it now. So I don't have to tell you what a path, right? You understand paths, right?
Yes.
This path went high, it went low, it was a rocky road a lot of the way. Sometimes it would be smooth sailing, but I wrote the book as an inspiration to everybody. The book is chapters on every single thing that happened to me when I came to New York, from every horrific part-time job. I mean, I came to the city with $800, which is absolutely nothing. And right, you understand this though. It's like, that's all you have in the world. And you have to make it work.
You have to stretch it out. Yes.
Stretch it out. And there ain't no giving up.
No.
There isn't. And that's the other thing. And I so connected with that with you. It's that determination. And, we will pick ourselves up. We will dust ourselves off. And we will keep going. I mean, there is nothing that can stop what I call a moving target. And the book is largely all of my experiences. I met Andy Warhol at Studio 54. He offered me a role in a film, but I mean, you'll love this mindset, right? He offered me a role in a film, but here I am in my 20s. I didn't have a pot or a window to throw anything out of. And he offers me this, and he tells me he's going to pay with a painting. So like, you're in your 20s and you don't know how you're going to pay your rent. And you're like, what the heck am I going to do with a painting? And at that time, all I could think of with him was, he was odd and he made soup cans. And, you remember back in those days, I mean, certainly wasn't so popular. People were like, pop art, what the heck is that? Campbell's soup cans, what the heck is that? So I thought he invites me to do a role in a movie, and I'm like, well, if I'm not going to get paid, why on earth would I want a painting? What the heck am I going to do with that? But so be it. So this is what happens, right? Now I look back and I'm like, Wendy, what the heck were you thinking? Listen,
who knows what painting you could have had?
Right. But you know how your judgment is when you're in your 20s. You don't know. Listen, Studio 54 one night, there was this girl who came on. They brought on to do one number, and I was in the balcony with a lot of my friends, and I'm like, oh God, she's tired. Her music, I can't even dance to this music. Who is that girl? And my friend said, well, her name's Madonna. And this song was Borderline.
Oh my goodness. You cracked me up.
Right. But, okay, these are life's lessons, right? These are the lessons to learn. And if you're a smart person and can get past your own ego and look at the mistakes you've made. Listen, in my book, She's the Last Model Standing, what makes it so comical is it's filled with all the, haphazard things that happened to me.
Yeah. That
I was taking jobs just to survive. I was in movies. Are you familiar with the trauma movies like Toxic Avenger or Squeeze Play? I've
never seen it, but I know which.
Yeah, trauma is very well known, and they gave a lot of people their start. And I was so thrilled to be in one of their movies, Squeeze Play, about a girls' softball team. And what I didn't understand at that time, once again, you had that naive, right? You believe in everything. They were totally on the up and up, totally kosher, but because it was non-union, they could work you for like a 12-hour day, bring you home, and then pick you up 6 hours later. There really wasn't a turnaround time. And this film was about a girls' softball team, right? Well, people want to see girls. Part of the girls' softball team, we would have wet t-shirt contests. Those were very big in those days. So part of what they would do, they would have the t-shirt contest in the middle of this. And I love talking about this story. I still have nightmares of Lloyd Kaufman's voice screaming, okay, hose them down. And I was like waterboarding. That someone would come with a hose full of cold water. But interestingly enough, that was one of the first films I did. And then I went on to some other low budget films that they did, and they booked me as a star of one of their films to do the press junket. Now this is a funny story because I wasn't the star. It was a film where I played a secretary, Miss Watkins. I literally, Vicky, I had 8 lines in that film, and Lloyd said to me, listen, you're a good talker. He said, we want to do the press junket. We want to send you to malls around the country. And I'm like, wait a minute, that film's going to open and everyone's going to know I'm a liar. And he said, no, we'll get you out of there before the film opens.
Oh my God.
So there I was at a table in all of these malls and like Henderson, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Houston, I was on the radio and everything. There I was, billed as the star of this movie. But again, I'm a good talker. So I, could talk about how great the film was, what fun we had making it. These were all true. The other films I had done, I signed autographs. I took photo ops, and then I got the heck out of Dodge.
Oh my God. You should have said, hey, you should have given me the star role. That's it.
Well, right. But that always happens, right? The person they give the big thing to often can't do the thing that they need them to do, right? But the positive message in my book is no matter what I'm doing, even if it doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to, I'm having a great time doing it. And again, I will pull myself back up by my bootstraps and go for it again.
I love it. I'm dying to share with the boss ladies about your show. So let's talk about, COVID started and, you're doing all this stuff because you have a lot of stuff going on. And then COVID starts and you're shut down. What do you decide to do?
Okay, so
wait. I have to stop you for a second.
Yeah.
This tells you ladies how amazing she is.
Aw.
And this is what I mean about wit, whatever it takes. Everybody's on lockdown. Everyone, including her. and she had to stop. And she tells COVID, "Oh no, 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 no! You're not keeping me down. Not go."
Right. So March 12th, they took New York and said they were shutting everything down. So let's do the math here. I'm an MC. I'm an actress. I'm an entertainer. I make documentary films, a spokesperson, and I run panels. They were saying to me, guess what? We are putting you so far out of business. You're never going to get back in. That was the message I heard. And I watched all my friends in New York entertainment, right? We're like, how are we going to pay our bills? What are we going to do? I mean, people were literally flipping out with good reason, right?
Yeah,
with good reason,
definitely.
because you know, I had a bunch of friends that were lucky enough to have work for companies where they could work at home. But performers can't do that, except we now learn that we can. And here's this story. So March 12th, we get shut down. March 14th, I'm like, you know, I put my thinking cap on and I'm like, well, I'm not going away. I'm going to do something. I'm standing in my kitchen where I only ever order in food. I live in New York, Vicky. You know, I don't cook. I don't have any time. I'm out at clubs. I go to lots of parties. I have no time to cook. I swear to you, for years, and this is a running joke, I had books in my oven. Actually, up until this happened, the books were still in the oven. So I'm standing in the kitchen, eating takeout, and I think to myself, and this is like, and I know you get this, and a lot of our ladies will get this. Something hits you. It hits you in your head, and you don't even know where it came from. And it said, "Oh, start a cooking show." And I thought to myself, that's hilarious, right? I'm a comedian. That's hilarious. I don't cook. What could be funnier? Now, I didn't have any game plan for this cooking show, but I went inside and I said to my husband, who's the shooter on all my documentaries that I do. He's a photographer and a videographer. Alan, I said, I have a really great idea. Let's do a cooking show. We'll call it Pandemic Cooking. And he said to me, but you don't cook. I'm like, right. What could be better?
Oh my God, I'm dying laughing.
So, right.
You're
So,
like, right.
Right. I don't cook. So the first thing I do, you know, because I'm a survivor, I'm like, okay, I got to make this easy peasy. I go online and I go to Fresh Direct. Do you have Fresh Direct where you guys are too? Are they all over the country?
They're all over the country, I believe.
Okay. So I go to Fresh Direct, and this was when they had slots. It was in the beginning of the pandemic. Now you can't get anything, but back in the beginning of the pandemic, we're talking like March 15th, you could get food slots. And I order up, I see they've got these kits where they'll send you all the ingredients in a recipe. A no-brainer for me, right? They send me everything. I get a huge box comes. I'm like, this is great. I don't even have to think about it. And I have a photographic memory, so I memorize the recipes. So, you know, I'm not there in front of the camera trying to figure it out. And the first thing I made was spatchcock chicken. Now, I had no idea what that was, but thank goodness for my viewers who wrote under comments, Wendy, that's a chicken that's split down the middle. I should have figured that out because, you know, the chicken, if you can see it, the chicken came like this, Vicky. It's like it was spread eagle in the box.
Oh
So
my God.
that was my first meal, and it came with beautiful vegetables. And then, you know, while I'm making this thing, I'm telling people, oh, look, it even has potatoes with it. That's cool. Well, the potatoes were unusually hard. And I put them in the oven with the chicken, and they never softened up because they weren't potatoes, they were chestnuts. Well, darn, they look like potatoes to me. I mean, at the end of the day, is there so much of a difference between a chestnut and a potato? So people started tuning in and liking it, okay? And then I really started revving the show up to my personality. Right now we have we're at number 46 will be launched today, 46 episodes. You can go to YouTube. It's under Wendy Stuart TV. And here's the thing. After that first episode where, you know, I look like me, the real me, I'm like, I got to spice this up a little. So I started theming every segment. You know, for Memorial Day, I looked like Bo Derek in 10. I had braids all over and a bandana on and a jean vest. One segment I was a fairy. Now, a fairy is somebody that can certainly cheer people up, right? We're knee deep in that curve that hit in New York. People were sick. All you could hear were ambulances. And I put that fairy costume on, and I did my cooking show that day. I got so many comments. There were people at home with COVID. Remember, unless you couldn't breathe, they wouldn't admit you into the hospital. You couldn't see a doctor because no doctor would have a COVID patient come in the office. So you only had a doctor you could call, or you had an 800 number. So people are running fevers at home. They have no energy. They're depressed. We've never dealt with anything like that. And I would appear in a fairy costume or any kind of crazy, crazy get up. Most recently, I took all of my viewers to India because you know what? We can't go there for real right now, but we could go there. We could go there on my cooking show. And we visited India and I made 2 amazing meals for them. But how did we get to India? Well, that's a no-brainer. I invented an airline, Pandemic Airlines. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, complete with passengers that lock themselves in the bathroom, the unruly businessman that drinks too much and won't get in his seat. Okay, anything can happen on Pandemic Airlines. And when I did that segment, of course, I had a stewardess outfit, not a flight attendant. I am using the word stewardess because this came from one of those party stores and I got it on sale like the day after Halloween. You know, so it's a little raunchy looking. You got the picture. Right? It was a stewardess, not a flight attendant. But it gave me a chance at doing such a great character. And of course, Pandemic Airlines, we can fly anywhere in the world. So I'm giving you a little bit giveaway for some of our future segments. I can take you anywhere without ever leaving my kitchen. But you know what? We can make food from those places. We can talk about all the cool things that happen in those places. And it really does raise people's spirits up. And the ironic thing here, I have learned to cook. Can you believe that?
That's amazing.
I'm never going to tell you it's my favorite thing, but I have learned to cook. Oh, and I need to tell you one more thing that's really key. March 16th, I started running a fever and I couldn't smell or taste.
Oh my
and it
God,
stayed.
and
And I had COVID and I was getting ready to do the show and I'm in the corner of the couch and I think I had a blue wig on that day. My daughter said she'll never forget it. She's like, Mom, you don't look so good. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I have to do this show. Then my daughter gets sick. My husband got sick. All of us got it. But you know what? I powered through that episode so that I shot a whole bunch. I didn't have to shoot for a couple of days. And the blessings of above, I totally recovered. My daughter recovered. My husband recovered. I still, and people need to know this, a lot of COVID symptoms can linger. My smell and taste are only back at this point 60%. But a few weeks ago, it was 40%. So it's coming along slowly. I have no other reaction to anything. I am perfectly healthy. But Vicky, I have to tell you, it is really scary. It's really scary. And I came up with this cooking show as a way to just, lift people's spirits and just make them laugh.
You have this, you have this aura, you have something about you that just gravitates. This whole time right now, you lose track of everything watching you.
Yes.
Hearing you. You lose track of life. You don't pay attention because you are in tune. You ever been to the movie that you love and you don't care if your phone's ringing. You don't care what's going on because you're having fun and you're just hilarious. You are funny, but in a good way hilarious,
Yeah.
And it's a joy to have you around. I mean, when I go to New York, I'm looking you up because we are going to have so much fun for sure.
Well, more than look up. We should do something together. We can either do I can, I'm so there. I'm so in the moment. We could do anything. We can go shopping together. We can sample food together. Wouldn't that be great? We could be food critics.
I'm like you. I'm not a cooker either. I am still not cook. We can cook together. Not.
No, but we could go to restaurants together and sample food. And comment on the food. We can do anything.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we can do we can be food critics.
I love that idea.
And you only have 60% taste back. Do it. We'll do it.
No, by the time you come to New York, I'll probably have 75 back.
That'll work.
Right?
Hey, listen, there's other people probably have 75% of their taste back. So we're telling them what 75 tastes like.
I love that. That's so positive. Hey, and
Yeah.
you know what? If I'm 75 and you're 100%, you make up my 25%. We are good to go.
We're good to go. We're good to go. You know, and at 75, the food might not taste good. At 100, tastes good. So then you're going to tell the 75 people, no, wait till you're 100 because that's when it tastes good.
There you go. That's right. Truth in advertising, because
That's
we're
right.
honest. We have integrity.
I love it. I love it. This has been amazing. Ladies out there, you saw everything she had going on, and she didn't give up. In 2 days, she figured out a cooking show when she doesn't cook. She had COVID. You know, I mean, you are just amazing.
Thank you.
And it shows if you have the drive, you just don't give up. I'm so impressed with you. I am.
Thank you, Vicky. My mother remembers when I was in school, math was very hard for me, and the teacher discussed that with her. I would think I was like 7. And what the teacher was impressed with, the teacher went to call on somebody else for the answer. And I said, no, give me a minute. And she said, well, Wendy, you're not getting the answer. And I said, you have to give me a minute because I never give up. I never give up. And that is intrinsic to my personality. And that's my message to everybody today. You know, no matter how bad it gets, guess what? We all have tomorrow. And the one thing we all know is our lives are not permanent. They're always evolving, Vicky, right? You know this. Yeah. They're always changing. And we have to go with that. And that's really giving it up and putting it out there. But you know what? That's what we have to do, especially now.
And we do. And you guys, life is going to happen on your personal, on your business. All this stuff is going to happen. Right. I found, and I didn't do this till later on in years. You know, when something happened, whether I did it or somebody did something to me, I analyzed what part did I have in it? I'll give you a small scenario. I had an employee embezzle some funds, a lot of funds. Well, she's the one that did it, but guess what? I allowed it because I got the gut feeling. I didn't pay attention to it. I could have put things, rules and whatnot. So you just don't give up. I could have very much said, done. You know, you don't. There's more to do. And I'm like so impressed. You decide in 2 days to do a cooking show when you don't cook. And then you get COVID and you still do it. You're amazing. Amazing. That's what you are.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Ladies, I mean, if she did it through COVID, come on. This is your chance to take time and just do it. What are you waiting for? And I know as women, we take care of everybody else, but you'll be so much happier. And if you're doing something that you're happy about, you'll get rewarded.
That's right.
You know? And
we have to remember as women, you just said it, we have to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
And that's the hard one, right? Even for me. All right, I'm putting out, but at the end of the day, I have to remember I have to take care of myself.
I love it. Now, where can they see again? You said YouTube, The Wendy Show?
Yep. I'll give it again. I have my own YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to it. It's Wendy Stuart TV. That's super simple. It's on YouTube. That's Wendy Stuart TV. And all of my episodes, 45 and 46 is going up today. All of my episodes of Pandemic Cooking with Wendy are on my YouTube channel.
I love it. And I'm going to put all the links on there too. So
yes.
Make sure that they can go directly because this is amazing, amazing. Beautiful.
I have a lot of links.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to put a lot of them because I think, you know, I want people to be able, if they want to go see you and whatever it is.
One of the things I pride myself on, even with the cooking show, I made myself accessible. If people comment, I don't just write like. I mean, if it's a one-word comment, that's fine. But if they write something, I totally write back to them. And often the things they're writing are, I was feeling so blue, I was so depressed, and then I tuned in. And then I write to them and tell them I am glad I made them feel better and what they can do to make themselves feel better. Listen, you know, the beauty of social media, we can And like you and I, we put ourselves out there. That's what it's about for me. I'm not a person that has 10 friends. I'm a person that could have, 25 close friends and then hundreds of other ones that I will actually interact with, because that's what it's about for me. I truly love people. I'm fascinated by people. I have an unbelievable curiosity, and that's why I feel we were put on this earth, to experience each other.
And that's amazing. I think that's the key. You will, in your, I don't know, I can't even explain it, because there's really not too many people like you, to be honest with you. You are genuine, you're nice, and you're funny. And unfortunately, there's not too many people left like that.
Oh, well, thank you.
There's not. There's not, because there's a lot. And I know I'm going way over. We might have to cut it in 2 sections. That's fine.
It's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Who cares? There's just not too many people and you're high on all levels. And again, thank you for being on the show. I'm going to put all the information below so people will be able to go see you and be able to reach you. I mean,
fantastic being here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.